It's the 1st of September, is tomorrow. Today is the last day of the month of August, right? August 30th. Maybe it's 2 more days. Anyway, I want to ask you a question this morning. Maybe this has gone through your mind before, but I think it's a valid question, and that is, does every that you've ever met in your entire life have a significance to you personally? Does every event that's ever occurred in your entire significance to you personally? Every person and every event in our lives has a significance. I was thinking last night while I was laying in bed, I was thinking about all the people I have met in my entire life. And these people started going through my mind. Different people down through the history of my life. All of the teachers that I've had. All of the children that I went to school with. All of the people that I've met in my work life. In many different places I've worked. All the people I've met down through the course of my life. And the significance they've held. And the lessons I've learned from them. All of the encounters that I've had, both good and bad. All of the friends that I've had, all of the acquaintances that I've had, all of the relatives that I have, all of the enemies that I've had, all of the people that have liked me and all the people that haven't liked me, all of the good events that I've had in my life, all the good times I've had and all the sad times and bad times I've had. It gives a whole new meaning, does not, to Romans 8:28, that we know that all things, not just things, but people, work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to His purpose. Have you ever thought about some of the most significant people in your life, whether that's been good or bad, the lessons you learned from their encounters? You might think, well, who has been the most significant person that's played a part in teaching me things in my life? Who has been the biggest quandary that I've had to deal with in my life? Who has been the greatest friend in this life that I've had? Who's been the greatest enemy? Who's been the greatest encouragement to me? And who's been the greatest detriment to me? And also we can think of the same thing in regards to events. What single event in your life has had the greatest impact for the good? And what single event in your life has had the greatest impact for the bad, for the evil? Well, again, if we go back to our scripture in Romans 8:28, we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to His purpose. I recently found out that a person that I'd known 20, 30 years ago had a Facebook page. His name is David Hackett. We go back a long time ago. And he's come back into my life, and it's been such a blessing to read his posts that he posts on Facebook. Dave's gone through a lot. He lost his wife. They were very close. She was a beautiful person. And, you know, I'm sure he's gone through a lot with the sorrow of losing his best friend, his love of his life. But what a blessing he is today in posting. He posted something this morning that was a great encouragement to me. God brings people in our lives to give us encouragement, to cause us to learn things that maybe we hadn't considered before. So the next time you have an event in your life and you're trying to figure out, why am I going through this? You know, what's the purpose that I have to go through this? You know, I got a call from one of my tenants this week, and he was upset because he was having a problem with the property that he's renting from me. And I didn't know he was having any problems. I kind of chuckled. I said, I'm really sorry that you've had the problems. I said, you know, but I can't read your mind. If you don't call me and let me know about something, I can't fix it. Right? There are a lot of times that we go through things that we question, why? Why am I going through this? What's the purpose in this? The same thing in our relationships. We say, why did God send this person into my life? And why did he, you know, whatever it is, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. But anyway, God has a purpose in everything, even in my sneezing. Okay? Even as infinitesimal as it might be, everything has a purpose and a reason under heaven. There's a scripture that says that he has wrought all of our works in us. It helps me to know that God has ordained all things. It helps me to know that every person that God has sent in my life, there's been a purpose for them being in my life. Even though I may not even like the person. I may not want to be around them. You know, I have a neighbor and down the street from me here, and she is, I tell people, she's crazy. She's crazy. She's paranoid. She thinks everybody's out to get her. She's a Jehovah's Witness, and she likes to post stuff on people's doors all the way around here. And I told her one time, I said, you know, I said, you can keep putting those things on my door, but I'm just telling you, just to save you the time and the hassle, they just go in the round file. You know? They just go in the round file. But I'm thinking, why do I have her for a neighbor? Okay? You know, they cut a tree down on their property that is close to my property, and it fell on my storage trailer's roof and crushed my roof in. You know? And she acted like she didn't even care. She goes, well, that wasn't even worth anything. You didn't give that much for that storage trailer. You told me yourself you got a good deal on it. You know, and you think, wow, what would happen if I had cut down a tree that fell on one of her storage trailers? What would her response be? Every event that happens in our life happens for a reason, you know. You know, there's been certain people that I've met down through my life that have had a profound impact on me for the good. And there's been other people that I've met in my life that have had a profound impact on me, seemingly for the bad at times, and now I look back on it and I go, well, You know? What can I learn from this? So anyway, that's the scripture that's in my head this morning. And we know that all things, and that includes people, work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. May the good Lord be with you is my prayer. God bless.